Hello and welcome to the Primal Armor Podcast, where myself and other featured guests will be diving deep into topics that cover the four main aspects of health: physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. Primal Armor strives to go back to the basics to give us a better foundational support to overall health and wellness that we can all try to improve on each and every day. I just want to thank you for stopping what you're doing today and taking time to listen to this podcast. Enjoy. Before we get started into the episode, I just want to take a few seconds to thank today's sponsor, Anchor Podcasts. They allow me to create and edit these podcasts for you guys. They're also the ones who distribute this podcast to other platforms such as Spotify and the Apple Podcast app on your phone, so you guys can listen to it anywhere at any time. It's everything needed all in one app. I encourage you all to get started today. Go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and follow the podcast. Welcome back again for another week of the Primal Armor Podcast. We're officially on episode 3 this week, and I just want to build off of what Colton and I covered last week. If any of you have not listened to last week's episode, please take a moment and go and check it out. It covers a lot of good information. To sum it up for those who have not listened, we focus on what it takes to finally get up off the couch and make the small changes needed to live a more active lifestyle. It doesn't take a trainer, it doesn't take a gym, it just takes a little bit of hard work and effort to get yourself moving throughout the day. So this week, I want us all to focus on the aspect of our health on the other side, which is our nutrition. Episode 3 is titled The First Steps Towards Better Nutrition. We have Colton back again to help expand on what we were talking about last week in our podcast. But I also have brought on another guest as well. Today's new guest is another real close friend of mine, Ethan Kane. And he has quite a bit of experience in this field, as being a wrestler at the collegiate level has taught him how to eat healthy and unhealthy and focus on nutrition and losing weight. So I'll let him introduce himself a little bit further before we get started into this week's topic.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. First, I'll just introduce myself, and then I'll say a little bit of how Jeff and I know each other. So, like Jeff said, my name's Ethan Kane. I'm a senior at the University of Dubuque, and I'm also the 3-year team captain of the wrestling team at UD. Throughout my wrestling career, I've won state medals, been nationally ranked, been an NCAA Academic All-American twice. I've wrestled overseas and trained with or been coached by 8 Olympians. And I've competed at the U.S. Open and finished in the top 16. I've had some great experiences in my wrestling career, and I've learned a lot through those experiences. And I hope I can share some lessons that I've learned to make a positive impact on each other, on others also. So Jeff and I, we grew up in the same hometown. We quickly became friends through athletics. Whether it was football, wrestling, weightlifting, or track, we were teammates trying to outwork each other. I think that is why we became such close friends. We were competitive against each other. In the summers, for example, we would go to the weight room in the morning and see who could do more reps, who could do more perfect reps, who would get to the weight room first, who would be the last to leave. Things like that kept us competitive. In Proverbs 27:17, it says, "As iron is sharpened by iron, so one man sharpens another." I believe that is what Jeff and I did in athletics. As we have gone on to college and beginning post-college life, we continue to sharpen each other mentally, physically, and spiritually. Primal Armor is one way we hope to sharpen each listener, just as iron sharpens iron.
But that's just where the difference lies. We're not part of the average. We're the 1%. Like we covered last week, the state of physical health in our society today is in shambles. Everywhere you look, there's lines of cars wrapped around fast food restaurants, shopping carts filled with processed junk food, delivery drivers everywhere, and it's only getting worse. There's not some strange coincidence that people who live this lifestyle are also the ones who are fit to be into the overweight or obese category. It's all because of this lifestyle that they're choosing to partake in. There's a reason that people are 50 pounds overweight, 100 pounds overweight. It's just because they live a very unhealthy lifestyle and have an unhealthy relationship with food. And that's just the perfect explanation for it. People who are overweight have an unhealthy relationship with food. They do not have a strong enough willpower or drive to say no to eating unhealthy food, to overeating, or any other association with a disorder with eating. The other day, Ethan sent both me and Colton this quote that said, "Too many people are digging their own graves with a fork." And I don't think anything could be more true about that statement. Many people continue to live this lifestyle and do nothing to change it. The more you eat a diet similar to this, the more unhealthy we become, the higher chance of disease we're at risk for, and the closer we are to digging our own grave. And we're doing that with our forks and our knives and what we're choosing to put into our bodies. People in this boat are often the ones who don't even know where to start when it comes to a proper healthy diet. And they live this lifestyle where they just order out all their food or take out as delivery, eat at restaurants for their meals, make those crappy instant frozen dinners that are loaded with preservatives, sodium, saturated fats, eat these processed and packaged foods. And the list is endless when it comes to eating unhealthy options like this. And that's why it's just such a hard lifestyle to change, because we've made these things habits. They become the normal. They're cheaper, they're quicker, they're easier to prepare, but they also make us sicker. They make us overweight. They make us sluggish and fatigued, and they actually affect our performance throughout the day and everything that we do.
Yeah, and I know like all three of us, so we're both considered athletes. You know, I know I can. I'm sure you guys can, and especially you, Ethan, since you're still wrestling. You know, just the energy level from, you know, when you finally get on that right track of eating healthy and eating what you're supposed to, and whether it's you're counting your calories right or eating your macros right, getting the right amount of nutrients, versus, hey, I'm gonna have, you know, McDonald's twice today. You know, it just, I feel like garbage when I eat out.
Yeah. And I just want to kind of go into a little bit why you do feel like that when you eat like crap. And it's a very simple way to break that down. And it's just all calories. That's what food's measured in. Yep. And a calorie is just a unit of measurement of energy that's in the food that you eat. So, for example, a Twinkie has 150 calories, and so does 3 ounces of steak. So when you analyze those numbers, it seems like a Twinkie and 3 ounces of steak would have the same impact on the body, right? That's why people count calories. Calorie is a calorie, right?
Yep.
And that's why some people like to believe that when they're eating these ice cream bars labeled skinny, or they're eating those 110 calorie packs of cookies, so on and so forth, they believe they're being healthy. It's because they think a calorie is a calorie.
Yep.
While that is true, there's a huge difference between the quality of calories you're getting in your diet and just getting in those calories for the sake of the number.
Definitely.
The difference is in the way these calories are distributed throughout your body for energy and storage, the hormone responses that come along with consuming carbohydrates and fats, the amount of fiber that's comprised within the food. There's tons of factors like these that contribute to just more than the caloric number that everyone likes to focus on. Think of someone who consists of a diet of 2,000 calories of lean protein, fruits, and vegetables. Now think of another person whose diet consists of 2,000 calories of fried food, ice cream, candy, and pop. While they're still getting the same exact calories in a day, you can already picture a difference in your head of their physical appearance just by listing off what they eat. And that's not even without mentioning what they do for physical activity and exercise.
Yeah.
And the relationship between physical activity and nutrition is very important, because no matter how hard you try, you're never going to be able to out-exercise a bad diet. Fueling your body with junk food and other garbage is not beneficial for the energy that you need to function throughout the day. And that's why people feel this sluggish and fatigued feeling when they're eating a diet that's crappy like that. It's because it's not adequate for fueling yourself for daily functions. I heard a really good analogy once that compares our bodies to cars, and I thought it just really put into good perspective for me. You can choose to treat your body like it's your first vehicle, which is a beater and a lemon. It barely makes it to point A to point B. You put in the crappy gas, you put in the cheapest oil, you don't replace any parts, and it just sputters along until it crashes and burns. But imagine what that could have been. That could have been a lot of potential there. You could have fixed it up and kept it going for a long time. So you just let it go for so long that it ended up crashing and burning. And that's what people do to their bodies. But now let's compare that to a nice sports car. You're going to take pride in that. You're going to get your regular oil changes. You're going to put in the premium fuel. You're going to keep up on repairs. You're going to store that thing in the garage. And you're going to really take care of what you got. It's an investment, but it's worth the final product of a well-taken care of sports car. So you can also choose to take care of your body in the same way. You can choose to make it like a beater car, eat the 110-calorie snack packs and skinny ice creams. You can take chips to work for lunch. You can overeat and binge on sugar, fried foods, and other garbage. But that'll just give you enough energy to get through the day and just survive. Just get to point A to point B. But you could really thrive instead of just survive if you treat your body like that sports car and really put pride into what you've built yourself into. You can feed yourself quality foods, make sure you're getting the right number of calories in your day, really take care of the body that you have, then you'll see the results and you'll be able to be prideful in what you put yourself into.
Yeah, and especially, when you're counting your calories, like you said earlier, making sure that they're the right calories, that they're not the 5 Twinkies you just had. It's the fruit that you just ate instead that'll give you way more energy in the long run.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Especially as we're building off what we said last week, when we're trying to get a little more physical activity into our daily lifestyle. You're going to need that energy from good foods to get you up off the couch. But then again, you're going to be needing to replenish some of that stuff that's in your body. And a Twinkie is not going to replenish those glycogen stores in your muscles. Exactly. It's not going to replenish building up those muscles. You're going to need to eat something like fruits and vegetables for good carbohydrates. You're going to need lean proteins to help build that muscle. It's not going to be done in ding-dongs and ho-hos.
Exactly.
For sure. One of my wrestling coaches here, he always tells us not to put dirt in our gas tanks. So he kind of uses that same analogy that our bodies are kind of like cars. We're machines. So if our bodies are machines, we need that clean, natural energy. You don't put the wrong fuel in your car, so don't put the wrong fuel in your body. Don't put dirt in your gas tank. Your body's the most important machine you have. So
you only got one body, so you might as well take care of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. So, all right. When I was thinking about putting dirt in your gas tank, you don't do that. So I was thinking of some clean fuel that I put in my body on a regular basis, and a lot of it is actually pretty cheap and quick to do. So I know a lot of people fall back to fast food or processed foods just because it's the quick and easy. It's the cheap thing. It's convenient. So I just kind of came up with a list of some cheap, quick, and healthy foods that are healthy go-tos for me. So some of those were oatmeal, fruits like bananas, apples, or oranges. I really like cuties because they're very convenient. Granola bars, there's lots of variety of granola bars. Just find something that's healthy. Some of my favorites are Lara bars, Cliff bars, or Nature Valley granola bars. I also like yogurt. I like nuts like cashews, pistachios, or almonds. Trail mix, carrot, celery. I really like microwavable bags of steamed vegetables. And when it comes to meat, I usually go for chicken or salmon. Chicken is lean meat with high nutritional value. Salmon has amazing health benefits. It's high in protein and rich in omega-3s and potassium. I try to eat red meat every once in a while. I don't eat red meat as often as chicken or salmon. Red meat's really high in protein and iron, but there are also some cons to eating red meat, like association with diabetes, heart disease, or certain cancers if it's consumed too often. I really like a steak or a burger every once in a while, but I just try to limit it, and I try to go for chicken or salmon, some lean meats more often. And then when it comes to drinking, water. Always go for the water. Our body needs water. I think we should try to ditch the sugary drinks like sodas or juices, and we should all try to drink more water. Our bodies function much better when we're fully hydrated. If we think back to the analogy of our body as a machine, let's think of water as the oil to the machine. You would never run your car without oil, so don't do it to your body. So I just would challenge every listener to simply carry a reusable water bottle with them every day this week, and just let it be a reminder to drink more water. Carrying this bottle will encourage you to drink more water and stay better hydrated. Personally, I've been carrying a gallon water jug with me throughout the day during classes this month, and I feel much better because it's a constant reminder to drink more water.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on the expensive thing about going out and eating. If you plan your meals, I mean, it is so much cheaper in the long run. And I know people have troubles of I don't know what to get, whatever. Well, I have bought ebooks online. It's phenomenal. And also I love leftovers. My wife absolutely hates them, but I love them. And, I think if you meal prep, it's probably one of the most beneficial things. It'll save you money in the long run, and it's actually fun. At least I think it's fun. Like you can just find a partner, whether it's your spouse, whatever, significant other, or if it's just like your bro or whatever. And I'm sure, Ethan, maybe you've done something as far as like wrestling goes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, trying to like, hey man, like let's Sunday, whatever, let's cook all this food, meal prep for the entire week. And then it becomes fun. Then it doesn't seem like, oh, I gotta do this by myself. But meal prepping's awesome. It's beneficial and it's cost effective.
Exactly. And I just want to even simple this down a little bit further, because even though those are all great points, some of that can be intimidating to someone who hasn't done this. They've just eaten a takeout lifestyle for the last 20, 30 years.
Yep.
And you can sum up eating healthy in 2 words: real foods.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. When you go to a grocery store, just stick to the perimeter of the store, the fruits and vegetables, the meats. So basically, if it was a living thing at one point in time, it was meant to be found in nature, and it was meant for us to eat. And that's what we ate as humans for thousands of years, instead of walking down these aisles with processed foods and packaged goods and other factory-made items that contributed to all these diseases we've been talking about for the past 100, 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go wrong with sticking to the basics: your meats, your fruits, your vegetables, nuts and seeds, and anything like that are found in nature. You have to be able to master this concept before moving on to any other building block of nutrition. You can't start counting your calories, your macronutrients, your protein, carbs, and fats, or anything like that if you're still washing down your food with Mountain Dews or committed to that dinner or dessert every night. You have to commit to the quality of foods and the quality of calories first. And that's where that change starts to occur. That's where you break that unhealthy relationship with food. Claiming that you have a sweet tooth and eating a dessert every night is actually just an unhealthy relationship with food. Your mind's not strong enough to say no to actually get you that point in nutrition and that point in physical health that you want to be at. It's no different than being able to say no to a cigarette when you're trying to stop smoking. It's no different than being able to say no to a beer as an alcoholic attending AA. It's all within your mind. And your body is fully capable of living off these real foods. And like we've been describing, there's so many benefits from it, and you just feel so much better in your day. It's because it's what's intended to live off of. And it'll make you feel better, look better, function better. And your body just doesn't know what to do when it's being fed junk for so long. But when you get used to a groove like that, you feel like crap, and you just don't even know you feel like crap, because that's your normal. And that's why it feels like such a struggle in the first few weeks of starting a diet. It's because that's your body's reaction to it rewiring how and where your energy is coming from. Your body's not used to that. Your body needs to make the proper changes, and that's the growth, and that's what happens when you start eating healthier.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts in the mind, knowing what's right to eat, and then after knowing, actually following through and doing what's right. And that's where the first steps come from. And that is how you make those steps. You focus on better nutrition, then you see the results, and then you actually start taking pride in the hard work that you've invested and you built your body into.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree with everything you just said, Jeff. I came up with, when I'm talking with people that are new to health and nutrition or exercise, a lot of people are intimidated, like you said, and they don't really know where to start. So real foods is a really great way to start for a lot of people. But a piece of advice I always give people who don't really know where to start is do one active thing a day that you enjoy and make one healthier choice at each meal. So let me say that again. Just try to do one active thing a day that you enjoy and make one healthier choice at each meal that you eat. So doing one active thing a day could help with your physical exercise. So it's not realistic for everyone to do 4 hours of CrossFit each day like you and Colton do, or for someone to wrestle for 2 hours straight like me. Most people can't do that. So just one small physical exercise a day could be going on that 30-minute walk outside, or doing an hour of yoga and meditation in the morning, or even doing some push-ups and sit-ups, and jumping jacks during the commercials of that football game that you're watching this weekend. So you can do one active thing a day that you enjoy, and that'll start helping you get into the habit of exercising. And one healthier choice at each meal you eat is very easy. So maybe in the morning, instead of eating that sugary cereal, maybe you go for oatmeal or eggs. At lunch, you could eat grilled chicken instead of fried chicken. At dinner, maybe you get broccoli or vegetables instead of the French fries with your meal. Making these small changes each day can have a tremendous impact. So
exactly, it's just a win-win when you do one of each. That's why I wanted to piggyback off of what we said last week. It's just getting up off the couch and doing one little step each day. That's going to start burning calories. And now if you really fix the calories that you're putting in, you're making two differences in one day, and you're going to really start seeing a transformation in your body. When even just making a little change in your diet, it doesn't have to be cold turkey that you just give up all your sugar and you just start eating chicken and rice every day.
Yep.
If it's you have a Starbucks every day, make your own coffee and don't add as much sugar and creamer in it.
Yeah, because that's not
You
gonna.
have to have that nightly dessert.
Yeah, because that's not gonna work long term. Just going cold turkey. You're gonna do it for a week or 2 weeks, and then you're gonna fall right back into the cycle.
And that's what people just don't understand. It's like what I said a little bit earlier. It's your body feels like crap when you start dieting, and it's because it's trying to rewire everything that's going on in your body, because those pathways aren't used to eating chicken and rice and vegetables and fruits and lean meats for energy. It's used to getting that quick insulin spike of your sugary coffee, of your cereal, of that nightly dessert. And it's not used to being able to rewire and change where your energy stores are coming from. And that's why people give up so easily and so quickly. And that's why people, what, are we not even 2 weeks into the year already? People probably made New Year's resolutions to start dieting, and I guarantee you almost every single one of those have dropped that diet already because it started feeling like crap.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it takes at least 2 weeks to make things a habit.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people make these diets because they really just want to lose weight. That's pretty much the foundation of what a lot of people start diets for.
Mm-hmm.
And as a college wrestler, I know all about losing weight and dieting. And one thing that I kind of want to debunk, a lot of people see media saying, oh, there's this lose weight fast diets, lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Those diets, they're not realistic. So I think a lot of people start a diet and they'll give up after a week because they didn't lose 10 pounds. They didn't lose 20 pounds. It's not realistic. Any change that's going to stay is going to take time. You can't lose 20 pounds in a week and maintain that. It's not realistic.
And then there's those yo-yo diets where people do see results really quick, and they're just not changing their lifestyle habits. They're not making it an every single day that they're changing a nutrition habit, or every single day that they're getting up off the couch. So they may lose that 10, 20 pounds, but then it's just going to spring right back, and they're going to gain 10, 20 pounds, or maybe even more. And it just keeps going back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. So my older brother, he's kind of a testament to, if you just get off the couch and you just do something active and you make small changes towards your diet every day, you can actually make an impact as long as you continue to do it. So he was a collegiate football player for a little while, and then due to injuries, he wasn't able to exercise anymore, and he just kind of sat on the couch. He was being a couch potato. He wasn't eating right. He couldn't exercise anymore, so he gained a lot of weight pretty quickly, and he became pretty unhappy with his physical condition. But I just kind of encouraged him to take that first step, be active, get off the couch, do something, make small, healthy choices, right? So soon he took that first step. He got off the couch. He started playing disc golf, and he's kind of started that as a hobby. He goes out, plays maybe once a day, gets about an hour of exercise. He's walking on the course. It's pretty low impact on his body. And every meal he's been trying to be purposeful with what he's eating, and he's making healthier choices. He's eating a lot more real foods. And in about a year, he's lost about 45 pounds. And he told me he's feeling much healthier and he's much happier with his life because he's made those choices and he got off the couch. The first step was the most difficult, but it proved to be the most rewarding for him.
I mean, yeah, just looking at him from my perspective, is he's like a whole new person. It looks like he shed a whole nother Jacob right off of him.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been a win-win for him, just getting off the couch. Now he's doing something that he likes to do every day, so he's more happy with that. He's made himself healthier. He's lost the weight, so he's happy with that. He's made friends through disc golf, so he's happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what people need to realize is there's so much potential when it comes with just changing your lifestyle in ways like these. So,
For sure.
is there anything else that you guys want to add or that we haven't covered yet?
I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think, just to kind of, sum it up, I guess, is, piggyback on our last podcast, try and make that, one step, try and be a little bit more active, try and eat, out of perimeter of the store. Like you said, if it wasn't made by nature, we probably shouldn't be eating it. And, just, it doesn't have to be cold. Like Ethan said, one thing here, one thing there, and then you start getting into a rhythm, and before you know it, you have one whole meal that's completely healthy. And then the next thing you know, you're eating healthy all 3 meals or 4 meals. And then that so hard, doesn't seem so hard on you that you're like, well, I have to give up all of this stuff. And you can actually make a lasting, resolution or whatever it is, and just a new healthy lifestyle that lasts.
One thing I really want to just bring up, because a lot of people don't know, and I didn't even know this before I heard it. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it kind of goes into why we're just really drilling into people to eat real food, is all these processed foods and junk that you're seeing that are being made in factories. You're starting to see this term come up these days called trans fats. And I heard from a pretty reliable source the other day that trans fats, since they're made in a factory, they're not even real fats or slash food. They're actually just one hydrogen ion away from being plastic. So that's what we're storing into our bodies. We have all these hydrogen ions just floating around in our body, just ready to attach onto whatever wants to grab onto it. When we're eating these trans fats that are being deposited into our arteries, any hydrogen ion can just cling right on, and it's like having plastic inside of you. So even though the Oreos sound good, or anything that you see in those processed food aisles sound great to eat, do you really want to be putting that into your body now that you know what it actually does inside?
Yeah, that's a no.
Yeah, I know. I know a choice I'd want to make, but that's just what we're gonna have to leave up to the viewers here. Is they can just kind of take and build off of what we've covered for these last 2 weeks and see if they want to really apply that to their lives. See if this will make them the meaningful motivation to take those steps each day to try to make themselves a little bit better.
For sure. And one thing I'd want to say for the viewers or listeners that are listening to this podcast, I'd just like some interaction. If you see this on Instagram and you're listening to it, if you just want to comment or send one of us a message and just let us know what you're doing today to take that step towards being a little more active or eating a little more healthy. We'd love to kind of hear what you guys are actually doing, and we'd love to encourage you with that.
Or definitely, or even if you just have any questions or comments or concerns about anything that you think we said, or if you want steps in the right direction, or if you need anything that you want us to cover, we can all just kind of sit down, research, or take our expertise and give you any advice that we can get.
Definitely.
Yep.
Well, I hope you all can take what we've learned in these past 2 weeks and start applying these tips and advice to your own life. In both nutrition and in physical activity, it's all about taking one more step today that you didn't yesterday. It's about just keeping advancing forward little by little until you start seeing some results. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and for all the support over the past 2 weeks. I've been having a blast recording this, and I can't wait to start working on the next one. So until next time, start working towards a better you each and every day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next podcast.